Tonight, we're going to be talking about the possibility that Hasbro is not done with Ghostbusters. We'll talk about all of that and more tonight on Geek Dad Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, maybe this is like Dapper Quip.
Sure.
Quippingly dapper. Looking real sharp tonight, my friend. Looking real good.
I was just feeling it. I was like, you know what? Throw on the tie. Not just the tie, but the tie bar too. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger. Defying the laws of gravity. So I'm just happy to be here. Excited to talk toys. Really excited to talk about Ghostbusters. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun wrap up and beginning to this next week. And I do have a question for you, though, Jay.
Sure, hit me. What you got?
Is it fair to characterize you as the Lauryn Hill of toy tubers?
I'm not as cool as one. Oh, you're saying with the lateness.
The lateness. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess, but the thing is, like, Lauryn Hill is like, you know, a legend and really cool. I'm neither of those things. So
fair enough. I guess like I'll keep searching for the analogy. Yeah, we'll see.
Just somebody that's late that isn't cool. That's what I am. Sorry for my tardiness, everybody. But you know, we were watching Empire Strikes Back. Like we like on Friday we did Rogue One. Yesterday we did A New Hope, and now we're doing Empire Strikes Back because we finished Andor this week.
Very nice.
We're in a Star Wars state of mind in the Glatfelter household. So we just finishing that and ran downstairs to get this going. So I do apologize, but you know what? Sometimes you got to show your kids what a bad father looks like in Darth Vader.
It's okay. Hey. Real reason we're late is because Jay had to teach me how to tie the tie. He was like, this way, Quip. There we go.
I don't wear a tie all the time. But when I do, I have to watch a video on YouTube to remind myself how to do it. On that note, let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. We got Dorlaxian, Derek Ova, Fakewood Table, Stephen Lawrence, James Vinipole, Brian Stadler, Mr. Michael T. Brick Something is in the house. Mint with card. Shiny Plastic People. Walls of Jericho. Toy Geekosaurus. Brian Stadler. Dirty Sanchez. Toy Minoids. Fortress Maximus. Andy Silva. Zach Kinsella. LaMitch is here. It's the Retro Goat. Evo Genius. Fakewood Table. Paul Galliano is here. Doomed Quip, you're in the chat. Doralaxian, Charlie Weaver, master of moderation. Watch out, folks. Don't get out of line or the band hammer will drop. KL Nightmare is here. Brian Brink, master of the charts. Gatey's Toys is here. Let's see. J Mac Hung Wen is here as well. Rock Nerd Radio. Matt Bush in the house. Ramen Toy.
Hey, Ace.
Legendary toy maker in the chat as well. Studio Henge, good to see you. Brad Brooks in the house. FUJ Lala. I don't know. Fuj, like Fuji.
Yeah, like okay. Fuji's Fuji.
Gotcha. Strumming my pain with his finger. Flash. Oh. Hawkstop is here. Daxamil, Shondo Gecko, Free Rain, and so many more. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out to talk toys tonight. Holy moly. Allison Troy, master of research, gifted 5 GDL family memberships. And so that means, oh wait, I had the volume down.
I got family.
Welcome to all the new GDL family members. Rob Lee Bob made it awesome. Tony Taponi here as well. And then J-Rod, member anniversary for 33 months. That's a long time. Whoa, Dave dropped some GDL family members as well. Another 5 Geek Dad Life family memberships. Let's drop a little.
I got family
for our 5 additional new members, and I hope that none of them include Chris.
That goes without saying.
Okay. Quip. Guess what? Guess what's coming up? It's a national holiday.
National holiday.
Well, maybe it's not national, but it's a big holiday for some specific quadrant.
Memorial Day is coming up.
Yeah, that is Memorial Day is coming up. That's a legit holiday, but maybe a less.
Well, besides that,
legit holiday.
It's got to be. It's got to be Ghostbusters Day, right?
Ghostbusters Day
Ghostbusters Day
is coming up. June 7th, which is, I think, 2 Saturdays from now.
Real
A
quick,
bunch of ghost heads. Go ahead.
Can I tell you something? I'm
Sure.
sorry.
No, hit it.
Bustin' makes me feel good. Keep going.
A cadre, a swarm, a plethora of ghost heads will descend upon Hook and Ladder number 8 in downtown New York City, where the actual real firehouse that they filmed as the Ghostbuster headquarters is located. It's really cool. Like, if you haven't been, especially since they put the Ghostbuster sign up in the right location, like spot, it's really special. It's really cool. And the firefighters there are true heroes. And they actually, it's a working firehouse, so they actually have like real things to, help people with, not just deal with us Ghostbuster nerds, but they're really kind and really welcoming of Ghostbuster nerds. So
I have a question. It's a real firehouse.
It's a real firehouse.
Does the pole work?
I guess so. It's in there.
Okay.
If you're in New York City, it's pretty easy to get to. There's like a subway stop that stops right near it. Just go check it out. If they're there, usually the doors open. You go inside. They still have the original Ghostbusters 2 sign from the movie in there. Photos from when they were shooting the films in there. And I don't think there were any firefighters left from when the second movie was filmed. But anyway, definitely the past movies or whatever. It's really cool. And every year, at least for the past few years, on Ghostbusters Day, which is around when the movie premiered in 1984, they have a day where people with replica Ectos show up. They've had concerts out there. It's kind of a little fan fest. They block off that little street that it's on. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Colleen and myself and the boys, we went to it last year for the 40th anniversary, and it was a ton of fun. There was this moment when 3 replica Ecto-1s pulled up, and just a crowd of people, and it just blew my young son's minds when those Ecto-1s pulled up. Alessi that sings the song "Saving the Day." They did a concert and they played that song.
Wow. Okay.
And it was really cool. There was a couple folks from Hasbro as well. They're handing out little buttons for like, "Hey, new Haslab's coming out. Be ready." So yeah, it was a ton of fun. I'll actually be in New York up until that day, but I won't be able to go this year. But if you can make the trek, if you're in the area, or whatever, it's definitely a ton of fun. Because it
sounds like loads of fun.
It is. It really is. Before I go any further, I want to call out that Shelf Presents gifted 5 additional GDL memberships.
I got family.
Thank you so much, Shelf. And we got a new member, the Bearded Gim. I think rejoined as a GDL family member. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Jay, you will be. Am I dying? Wait, did I miss something? Maybe it's a different Jay. I don't know. But anywho, all of this is to say that there's a little bit of news that kind of connected to this, at least as in regards to the toys. So Ghostbusters International, or I guess Franchise World, whatever they are like all the different factions of Ghostbusters that are, dress up in the suits. They may have their own ectos. So I had this post about, what to expect for Ghostbusters Day 2025. And they said here in this post, word on the street, North Moore Street, that is, the Hasbro team has some surprise product reveals in store. That is in addition to the Hasbro team bringing the Ectomobile Haslab that's currently in production for fans to check out on display from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. But the thing that has me excited and other Ghostbusters fans excited is some surprise product reveals. And to be honest, I'm a little shocked because I feel like not to knock Hasbro too much, but I thought, the Haslab was kind of, could be a swan song, if you will, like a fond farewell
Really?
to a toy line. Well, because they didn't really do much when there was a movie coming out, a new movie.
Fair.
So, what are they going to do otherwise? But, and again, who knows what else this could be.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it might be fun to speculate with you, Quip, as well in the chat. Like, what things do you think the Hasbro team would show off or show to us at this Ghostbusters Day event in New York City? I read Katie's Toys selfie series back. New York City.
I'm thinking because it's an outdoor event. So
Correct.
what would kind of be fun is if you had a tiny little booth where people could see the Ecto-Glows glow. I didn't know if you knew that's where I was going, where it's kind of like a draping, like, hey, here's the re-released Ecto-Glows. Just a little sneak peek at it, because as they mentioned, they gave people a sneak peek at the 2 in the box. So I say Ecto-Glow, but are they gonna go any other place with it, right? Did the popularity of Mondo's RGB make them think? Because I know there's even been some speculation, I haven't seen the contracts, don't know if you have, about the price point on RGB being, hey, yeah, you can make RGB toys if they're like over $100, so that's how they settled on 101. I don't know the veracity. I have not been able to validate or verify that story, but could we be getting RGB toys from Hasbro?
Absolutely, because for Comic-Con, is it this year's Comic-Con or is it next year's Comic-Con? We're getting Ecto-Glows, right? They're re-releasing the Ecto-Glows in the Kenner Classics line.
Yeah.
Right? So if I was using my laws of deduction, kind of backing up what you're putting down here, Quip, is, okay, you wouldn't just do that in a vacuum, right? Like, at least I wouldn't think you do that in a vacuum. So yeah, like what if we'll get more Kenner Classics? It's not a very heavy lift for them. In that they're not like super articulated figures, but I think a dream would be like, and I say this for every damn thing, but like, do they origin size, Kenner Classics a little bit and give us, and now we know they won't be the quality of what Mondo's doing, but maybe they go kind of 5 POA, give us some more Kenner type real Ghostbuster toys.
Maybe. It could. I know I've seen some people saying some things in the chat. Don't know if there's any more if you want to play a guessing game, you and I, before we go to the chat.
I mean, I think that would make the most sense. Something like either you keep on playing with the Ecto-Glow thing and do stuff there because you're doing the Comic-Con exclusive, or you don't want Mondo to steal all your thunder, so you do some new stuff with real Ghostbusters using the Kenner Classics moniker. That's my first guess. What's your first guess? Or only guess? It could be your only guess.
So I imagine they're going to give, they've had sneak peeks. I think I have some actually. Got a sneak peek at the Haslab itself, right? So I imagine that's going to be there. They're going to say, hey, yep, here's how we're at. This is the progress. Maybe they reveal the packaging for it. I think as we talked about, it makes sense also to have something in the Ecto-Glow realm. It'd be cool if they were expanding the line. I've seen a couple people say maybe they tease a Tully. Maybe they debut a Janine. You never know.
Right? I'd love a Janine Ecto-Glow.
Yeah, that would
a Toy Saurus. He did a very limited run of Janine Ecto-Glows. And I missed them every single time, and I would kill for Hasbro to make one of those. That'd be so freaking cool.
That would be cool. But if they're talking about new product reveal lines, I'm gonna stick with RGB. If they're talking new product reveals, I don't want to cheat. I've seen a couple people that have mentioned some things in the chat that I think are also viable, but I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. So once we start going through a few of the starred chats, we will expand on that. But yeah, I'm sticking. I'm going with the fanfare that Mondo RGB got, Alex doing the Lord's work.
He is a magician.
Not only getting the 1/12 scale, Mondo line up and running, but maybe his renders have breathed new life and kind of lit a fire under Hasbro to see that there's a that there's a demand for some RGB stuff. And maybe they get that ball rolling a little more for people who are more nostalgic and want that retro RGB line. Hopefully good news.
Yeah, I think I agree. I would hope that if anything, but again, it's like, I know Emily and Patrick, I know they all love Ghostbusters. It's just a matter of like, do the Hasbro higher ups give a crap, And so I don't know, like, I don't know if they look at the Mondo thing and I know, Emily's like, no, we should do that. We should be doing cool stuff too. But I know it's not always their decision, right? And so, but maybe that did kind of light a fire under some suits' butt, and now they're like, okay, well, we got to do something, right? This is the last year, I believe, of them having the license. No, I'm sorry, I think it's through 2026. Okay. So, like, if they're gonna do anything, it would be, I don't might as well. It can't hurt, right?
If the last year is 2026, then 2025 would be when they would want to be revealing those products. Maybe even to try and get some, I won't say guerrilla marketing, but just some buzz going to kind of see if, hey, drum up some excitement behind some 2026 releases to go out with a bang, hopefully.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. All right. So let's look through some of these. I just want to make sure. Okay. Let's jump into it then. Ecto glows. That makes sense. Fright features plasma series to the level G.I. Joe classified figs with small translucent ghosts. That would be amazing. Docos.
That would be cool.
Right? That'd be deep. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. James Vinapool, I picked up RGB Firehouse today. There's been a couple people calling out, hey, it'd be cool if they did a Firehouse. That would be cool. It's a lot. I'd be curious to see how they would market that. That'd probably be like a Hasbro Pulse exclusive.
I don't know if stores would be putting that on the shelves. That would take up some space.
And Hasbro doesn't have any space anymore. Like, they barely had space for the Frozen Empire figures.
It'd move though. I mean, if they did a Pulse exclusive, they'd definitely move them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Penless Ghostbusters for Ecto 1. Penless is fun.
Okay.
Never too bad of an idea. Future Fortress Maximus says they heavily tease a re-release of the GB1 figures to go along with Haslab. Yeah, I feel like that would be a bit of a letdown because we already know that's coming. Right?
For some, for others, it would be more exciting. I know the original run. Which one goes for the most? Isn't it? Winston goes for the most because he actually has the plasma streams.
The plasma stream.
Right?
Yep.
And then they have the slimed versions, which I get why they went with green as far as my limited understanding of glowability. Of course, you've got the green slime. It's more synonymous with
green is easier
Slimer, right? A little easier to make it glow. But it would have been cool if they went with pink so that those slimed Ghostbusters looked more like the pink slime from the second movie.
Yeah.
Maybe otherwise
a second wave.
But it could be cool. Yeah, I think people would be excited to get another shot at paying retail for the tan suit.
No, I think it's a great thing. I think it's phenomenal. But they've already said it, so that's not like a new thing. Yeah, right. Because let's go back to the sacred text, which again is like the Ghostbusters fan group posted it. So, but I would assume like somebody from Hasbro, gave them a little hintsy doodle to talk about there. Word on the street is that Hasbro team has some surprise product reveals, plural, in store.
Ooh, multiple.
Right?
Okay.
So that is that's not nothing. That's not nothing. Major wrestling figure pocket said 4-pack GB1 movies. Yeah, and we know that's coming. And maybe they will show that off. Maybe they will. That's
Maybe.
easy peasy. But I want a little bit more.
Ooh.
Want a little bit
A
more.
1-to-1 scale toilet monster that you can install in your bathroom.
Fearsome flush. That'd be easy. You used to get like those pumpkin things where you just have like little eyes in the mouth that you just like stick onto the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like that, but for your toilet. Let's see. More Kenner classics would be dope. A ghost 4-pack. Yeah, more ghosts would be great. I think this would be a dream, James, like Kenner style ghost, right? A Kenner style boogeyman, a Kenner style Sam Hain, a Kenner style, like, whereas Mondo's giving us the most perfect versions of those characters as toys that we could ever want.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like Hasbro can swim in the lane of cool. We're going to give you, like they've done with the Kenner Star Wars retro re-releases or new retro figures in the old Kenner style. They could do the same with like fleshing out, or maybe not fleshing out, the ghosts that we never got in the original Kenner line. That would be cool as hell.
That would be popular. Yeah.
Citizens Ghost, it's used a lot, but I'm surprised Hasbro hasn't done this yet. They've already got the tooling done, right? And they're already reusing it for the Ecto Glows for the Comic-Con exclusive.
Yeah.
Why not just give us Citizens Ghostbusters? Easy peasy.
Why not? Go for it.
Revamped Haunted Humans, that'd be great. Since they reveal so little, probably the rumored 4-pack of the GB1. Again, that to me, and I know sometimes Hasbro watches these things, but that to me would be like this if I saw those. Not that it's not a good thing, Quip.
Yeah.
I just think
you're just speaking for yourself personally.
I just think it's a little boring.
Yep, different strokes for different folks. That's okay. I know many would be super psyched. Oh my goodness, another chance at the first run. I know many people were excited about Ecto Glow. I think the potential for them expanding into the Kenner line. And I even like what was discussed. I forget actually who left the comment that was just shared on it, but it would almost be like Mondo and Hasbro taking the split approach that Super 7 and NECA did with Ninja Turtles, right? Where NECA was the cartoon go-to, so Mondo would be your cartoon accuracy go-to. If you really want the animations on your screen in 3D form on your shelf in your collection, you go Mondo, right?
Yeah.
But if you're more nostalgic for the toy line than you are the actual show, and then you want those Kenner replica or maybe unmade, maybe a little zhuzhed up versions of what was previously done, kind of like Hasbro does for the TVC, right? For Star Wars. I think that would be a really good split. And I think Ghostbusters fans should be excited about that. But from what I've gathered from watching Geek Dad Life and yes, have some for so long, I feel like the overwhelming community of Ghostbusters fans probably could care less because they're more about the actual props, right? Just overall,
Quip, how dare you?
Per capita,
how dare
Ghostbusters
you?
fans want props. So
not all of them. Don't paint us with a broad brush.
I'm just calling it like I sees it. This is what I've heard. This is what maybe I've misheard.
You sound like a Hasbro executive right now.
This is the miseducation of Scotty Quippen right now. Maybe I don't understand something, but I feel like
I don't think they're mutually exclusive, right? I think you're right. Ghosts, like, they obviously love the props, and I love that Brian brings here. Brian, I mean, I could probably pull up the charts, but like, the 2-in-the-box trap set was the most popular Haslab. Like, the number of those completely like sold, and then the Ecto 1 Haslab, like the difference between the two. So I'm not saying that the props aren't popular. Gonna be popular. Right back to Wicked for you, my friend. But I do think that is a subset, and it's a big set. Like I'll buy the props too, like if I have space for them. But I do think there's a good amount of figure fans as well, just because Peter has talked about how the response to the Mondo Ghostbuster toys kind of outpaced their original expectations for the Mondo real Ghostbuster toys.
Okay.
So I don't think it's too weighted on one over the other. I'm not saying that probably a little bit more for the props than the figs, but it's not like a night and day kind of difference, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let's check back to the chat. Slime blower, Haslab, Quip. That'd be dope. It's too big. It's too big. I think it's too big.
Yeah.
Ecto goggles would be easier.
That would probably be a slam dunk.
You don't need a Haslab for that, though. You don't need a Haslab for that, though. I think you just put that on Hasbro Pulse.
You need a Haslab, but they could make them a Haslab.
But what? Like, they should be no more than $70-$80. Like, maybe with tariffs, $100. Like, that's not a Haslab, but just put it on. They sell the helmets, the Star Wars helmets, or what, and the Power Rangers helmets for $100-something bucks. It should be less than that.
Maybe a Haslab actually functions like those, like that headset of night vision goggles from Jurassic Park, right? Like there's like a $800, $900 set of night vision goggles from Jurassic Park. Now, mind you, I don't know if the Ecto technology exists to where you can really see ghosts with them. Maybe then they could justify it as a Haslab. But ultimately, I will defer to your wisdom,
people are saying, people are calling for a poll. People are calling for a poll. So let me get that teed up. Do you want to plus in some of the other suggestions?
Sure. Let's go over here. Going? Let's see what else we have. Let me work the way backwards. Just looking. Okay, so we got slime blower, scaled Stay Puff for the vintage firehouse.
That would be nice. I would love that so much.
Lots of people. Shelf presence is mirroring what Accomplish Everything said. Huge Stay Puff has to be done. Michael, a Stay Puff made from the stuff they make Peeps out of.
Dude, I would love that.
It would last forever, right?
Or I just want to eat it. And just like eat it from the feet up, and then Stay Puff be like, no, don't eat me.
Okay, so do you like Peeps? Do you like them?
I love Peeps, and I know it's a divisive topic.
I was gonna say it's two camps.
Try to stray from
no gray area. Do you like Peeps or do you abhor them? I used to be a big Peep fan until one day I had one too many Peeps and I poked my last Peep.
Which is like too much sugar kind of thing.
It did not go well. Headache, tummy ache. I mean, as you would a kid, like, I don't know, maybe I was like 13, wolf down a whole pack of Peeps. It's not good for you. You're not gonna feel too well. So ever since then, I tried one Peep with my daughter because she had never had Peeps. Of course, she had seen them and she's, oh, they're so colorful. Okay, cool, we'll get them. My daughter, no interest in them, and I tried it and I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm good off the Peeps. More for you, Jay.
So I can't do Peeps all the time, but you know what? Sometimes around Easter, I'll throw back a pack.
Okay. Throw back a pack. Filmation Ghostbusters would be incredible. I'm going to quote Allison Troy: "Stop trying to make film Ghostbusters happen. They're not going to happen."
Why not?
Did
just a poll go up? I don't see the poll. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Figure the poll is up. Okay. So the poll I put, cool. If you buy Ghostbuster toys, do you prefer props, figures, or both? So that's what people are putting out right now. So Filmation, it won't happen because I don't think Hasbro has the rights to it, right? And so somebody else could probably make a play at that, I would think. Does Universal own that? I don't know who owns Filmation's Ghostbusters.
You know what would be fun is if Hasbro did have Filmation Ghostbusters and they teased that on Ghostbusters Day just so everybody could feel the disappointment that they used to feel whenever they thought Ghostbusters the cartoon was going to come on and it was Filmation Ghostbusters and not real Ghostbusters. That would be a very meta marketing campaign, and it would be
it's a risky proposition, but I'd watch it. I'd watch it go down. But so I for one, I do have a soft spot in my heart for Filmation's Ghostbusters. I think the original Shopper toy line is incredible. I have a complete collection of Shopper Filmation's Ghostbusters, all the figures, vehicles, and play sets. It's
a cool
incredible.
set.
It's an incredible toy line that is very rare. It was only around for a little bit, and those pieces are really hard to find. They've gotten really expensive, so it'd be cool if like a Loyal Subjects or something like just went out and like re-released all of them, because I think a lot of people would like to have those toys. They're really vibrant, cool colors, cool sculpts. That would be pretty dope. But anyway, sorry, I digest. Any other things you want to plus up?
Loyal Subject would be the perfect company for that. So that's a great call out. And then I guess last one, Walls of Jericho, something with the old Ghostbusters cereal and Ecto-Cooler. Oh, yes. I need some Ecto-Cooler in my life.
Yeah. I still have some from when they re-released it in 2016 if you want some, Quip.
Crack it open, man.
It's only 9 years old, so it's still gonna be pretty good.
I got health insurance.
That one might not be covered. I don't know.
I try to file a claim and then they show me the video. Is this you?
I do have a bone troller. Not handy though. It's over there on the shelf. But I do have a bone troller.
That's Jay's college nickname.
Bone troller. I don't know if I could get like it in shot because it's all the way over there. Hold on, I'll flip my camera for a second.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
over there. Oh, I guess I'm
small. Hold on. Let me make you big.
Yeah, get this out of it.
Let me see. How do we do this? There we go.
Get
all right.
This out of there. There it is.
Enhance.
There, right there. Bone troller.
A little guy.
He's back there. Then I've got my Police Academy next to the Ghostbusters, just because I always thought
Police,
this firehouse
firefighters
was and then I got the real Ghostbusters collection there.
That's a solid shelf. And then you got Space Police for Voltron.
Right, we got Voltron, and then yep. I got a lot of stuff. I got another toy room tour. I haven't done one of those in a minute.
Yeah, give us a little update. That'd be nice.
At some point in time, I will. All right, switching cameras now. How do I do that? Never mind. Keep talking, Quip. What else do we got?
Okay, let's see what else we got. It's been a while since I had that Ghostbusters cereal.
So they brought Ghostbusters cereal back.
Did they do it for 2016?
No, for 20 Afterlife. And it wasn't exactly the same, but it was because it's that Ralston. He has Ralston. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah, because they did the TMNT cereal too.
Yeah. This, but it was done by General Mills, and it was kind of a similar approach to that other cereal. I did a video review of it. Very few people watched it, but you can find it. Geek Dead Life, Ghostbusters cereal. Check it out.
I'll have to go back through the channel's history because I'm one of those people that did not watch it.
Oh, I didn't. Don't worry. It's the way the YouTube algorithm works. It's like, you don't have a cereal audience. I'm showing this to nobody, but it's on there. You can find it.
To be fair, not my fault. I discovered you during the pandemic after Hatter came over for some commentary on one of the most, if not the most infamous episode of Geek.
Yeah, that's where most people found us. $20 super chat, Michael. Thanks so much. This super chat is for Jay's Doc Bills, Peeps, and 9-year-old. Michael, I still gotta eat Peeps every day. Like, I'm just saying, sometimes, I'm in Target and I see they put those Peeps on clearance for like a nickel, and I'll buy a pack.
I share this in the Discord, but it was maybe like 2 weeks after Easter. I just happened to swing by Target. I had to grab some other stuff like on the way home. Of course, went through the toy section, right? Got to do it. And then also, at least in my Target, the Target that I had stopped at, the toy section is right near kind of the discount section where it's either Halloween, Easter, whatever seasonal candy, 4th of July, just bric-a-brac that they're selling. You go there. So I happened to be walking by, and like Peeps were on sale for like 60 cents a pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all sorts of Skittles and things. And so this was on the heels of watching Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves with my daughter. And there's a scene in that movie where the kids go to the grocery store to buy snacks, and they come back and their arms are full of candy, and my daughter looks at me and goes, "They got all that for $10?" And I go, "I know, kid. I know."
But you got to live it.
And so exactly. So I got to make a memory. I went there. I texted my wife, "Look, like all this stuff is on sale." And so I bought a bunch of it. I spent like $10 just to show her, hey, you know, I spent $10. And it was a huge haul of peanut butter, Reese's eggs, and Skittles, and Easter-themed Sour Patch Kids. And it was just fun. Really, I was paying for the memory of my daughter just like walking in on the candy haul going, "Whoa!" And then I got to show her the receipt. She was like, "Dad, okay, we need to ration this." She's very responsible. She was like, "We need to put it away. We can't eat it all at once. We got to eat it very slowly. And we got to make it last. And we still have some candy downstairs that
good for you.
Got jelly beans and Sour
I
Patch
should have thrown it
Kids.
away because my kids would sneak it. That's my problem. My kids are just they're little scoundrels. They would just find wherever I put it and then just sneak it and eat it.
My daughter has legitimately looked at me like if we're driving somewhere and okay, we were planning to do something for dinner, but something went a little later than we anticipated. "Hey, do you want to stop for fast food?" And she's like, "You know what? I had pizza for lunch. I really just need vegetables." My daughter's pretty responsible. So she will limit herself to 3 treats a day. Right. So it's like 1 pack of gummies for lunch and then an after school snack and then a dessert. She is very responsible.
So she must get it from you because you don't even open your toys. So it makes a lot of sense. A lot of no, that's great. Honestly, you're a great father that has imparted really good habits to your children. My children, not so much. They see me buy all this crap and they're like, "Candy!" And then they just go for it hardcore. This is interesting. What Dorlaxon's put out here. Man, I've seen guys on YouTube eat 50-year-old military rations. 9-year-old Ecto-Cooler might as well be a health drink compared to that. I feel like that's a challenge, Quip.
You could take it that way if you want.
I just feel like maybe our next episode, because we don't live that far. Like if I mailed you a box of Ecto-Cooler.
Don't waste the postage. I'm not gonna do it.
What? Come on, we can go into it together.
I will tell you what I will do though. So again, Derek Uva's lovely lady Shauna. She has an awesome Ecto-Cooler recipe.
Nope, it's gotta be the old stuff. What if
I'd rather take the facsimile, the recreation with newer, I believe it's the tangerine flavor of Juicy Fruit. Anybody who's craving Ecto-Cooler, so not even mixing in the other stuff like Tang and different things. If you just go try the tangerine flavor, if you are jonesing,
that's all it is tangerine juice.
Cooler.
Yeah,
exactly. Go get the tangerine flavored juicy juice and tell me it's not reminiscent of the Ecto-Cooler. That'll give you your fix. Because
what if? Just I know you're trying to be responsible here, but just be irresponsible with me for one moment, okay? Join me on this journey. You don't have to do it. I don't pressure you.
I'll join you.
But what if? What if we get like I don't know, like 300 likes in this episode, like while we're airing, and we get 300 likes. And I will say, and if we hit 300, I will send you, because I have plenty of boxes. I could do can or a box. I got cans of Ecto-Cooler and the little boxes of Ecto-Cooler.
Okay.
That have been in my pantry since 2016.
I thought you were going to say in your pants, but go ahead.
No, just in my pantry. Keeping them nice and warm. I will ship them to you to make sure they're there by this coming Sunday, and we can pour it into a glass so you can see if there's botulism in it or something, and we take a little sip.
If it's one, there are 303 people watching right now. So okay, so if we get 300 likes. And I take a little sip. Actually, so Bootcat kind of read my mind. I was thinking, okay, so which is safer, the boxes or the cans? I'd have to go back and Google like the materials used for liners and what sort of chemicals have leached into this concoction.
Oh, Charlie Weaver's in on the action.
There we go. Okay, cool. So we can have Charlie Weaver on You get Charlie
Michael's
Weaver.
sponsoring the shipping of the juice. So hit the like button, folks. If we get 300 likes, this is a tall order. There's only a little over 300 people watching right now.
I'll take a sip. I will take a sip.
Yeah, just a sip. You know, I'm not asking you to chug the whole thing. Just a little sippity sip.
Okay.
And
300 likes.
And we'll become a ghost. But the 300 likes have to happen during this stream.
Yes.
Okay?
We lost 3 viewers already.
They're like, I hate this idea. It's probably like Quip's family, like, no, we can't support this.
Do it.
All right, let me just refresh to see how the likes are going right now. We're already up to 119 likes, Quip. So it's happening. It's happening. Okay, let's check it on the poll.
Yeah.
So Quip, you exclaimed earlier that Ghostbusters fans like props more than toys, figures.
Yes.
And the chat is not quite aligned with you. What do you think the percentages of props only, figures, or both?
Wait, you mean to tell me that when you sample an audience of people who tune in for a toy show, that the results are going to yield that this particular gathering of Ghostbusters fans actually wants toys?
Don't ask. No. Don't question the logic or our polling data.
You're talking to a data analyst. As soon as you put the poll in the chat, I was like, if you think I'm gonna let this fly, like this poll.
But did Brian? Did I miss it? Hold on. Brian, did you say what the total for the 2 in the box and then the Ecto one is? I can pull it up while we do this. But anyway, so what do you think? Where people exactly? Thank you, Gatey's Toys. You can't argue with science. This was a scientific poll. Done with no bias.
Be bias. So adjusting for bias, I am going to assume. So the 3 options are
props only,
props, toys,
figures, or both.
Okay. I am going to say that the majority of people here, because props take a lot of real estate on shelves, are going to say toys. Then I'm going to say it's toys and props. Then I'm going to say it's props.
I mean, that's pretty good, but I think that's easy to expect. But what percentages do you think? It's 100 out of 100%. Yeah, call your shot here.
Percentages. I'll call it like as far as viewing. I'm going to say 10% props only. Let me know if I'm right.
Ooh, close. 8% props only.
Okay.
Are you cheating over there? You looking?
Nope, not at all.
Giving a peek?
Not looking.
Okay.
Not looking.
All right.
So that would leave me. I'll stick with my 90% since it's close. I want to adjust for that too. So 90%. I'll say 70% are toys and 20% are toys and props.
Pretty close. I'll give it. You're pretty damn close, Quip. All right. So you know what you're doing. It's 60% figures, 32% say both. But still 60% figures. I'm just saying. I mean, I know you're saying this is a biased poll. We can't trust it.
How can you? Yeah.
We have some super chats. Tim and Pussy's in here. Jay, just drink an old Ecto-Cooler on After Dark tonight and don't pressure Quip. Listen, 300 likes have to happen first before that even goes down. Okay?
Is this Ecto-Cooler now alcoholic? Has it been fermenting? I don't know. Keeping it in your pants.
Maybe.
It could be. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Anything could happen, Quip.
It's magic. Just don't argue.
Sensei Jeff with a $2 super chat. It's because most people can't afford props, dude.
Some of those props are expensive.
Are they spendy and spacey? They take a lot of space.
And I like the Johnny Bravo avatar.
Shelf presence $2 super chat. Chat, hit the like button for the Ecto-Cooler challenge.
Ooh, we're up to 325 viewers. I'm nervous.
Oh, it's gaining steam. Word's getting around on the internet. They're saying, "Oh my God, you can't believe what Jay just challenged Quip to do." But you know what though? I gotta say, only 144 likes, so I think you're gonna be safe, Quip.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be safe. because we're already 44 minutes in, maybe another 20 minutes or so of streaming. So, folks, if you want to make Quip as uncomfortable as possible, maybe get a little dribble of Ecto-Cooler on that nice tie. Gotta get those likes in. Rust dust. Wait, Ox, you don't know Ecto-Cooler. Ecto-Cooler is a glorious drink that was released in the late 80s into actually well into the 90s. It was ceased production in 1997. And then in 2016 for Ghostbusters Answer the Call, Coca-Cola re-released High C Ecto-Cooler. Not even, it's like just say online exclusive. No, it was in stores. You could just go buy it and relive that High C Ecto-Cooler. Hi. So yeah, get your likes in, folks. Well, anyways, at the time I went and bought out like this Harris Teeter that had a whole end cap, and I bought every single, well, not every single box, but a lot of them.
A bunch of them, yeah.
And they have been in my pantry ever since. I have not opened them.
Are they right next to the episode 1 caffeine?
No, I got rid of those.
Pepsis. Okay.
But I have a stock of Crystal Pepsi from when they re-released that. Okay. I've got the Stay Puft Marshmallows in there. I've got the Ghostbusters cereal too that they released. Any of the weird premium food things I have stored up on the very top of this pantry of mine. Exactly, Ryan Dole. It would be a lot Ecto-Cooler if you did. That's a reference to.
I like it. It's very funny.
Serve chill in a fancy glass. Mr. Michael T. Colleen hasn't been mad that space in the pantry is taken up for 9 years. No, thankfully, it's not a huge pantry, but it's a decent enough sized pantry that we've never needed the very tippity top shelf.
So I was going to joke because I was going to say, I've seen pictures. I know you said that you're not super tall, right? Your average height.
5'9" on a good
you're
day.
Above the global average.
Global average, but not like U.S. average. I think that's like 5'10". But anyway, yeah, I'm not short. I'm not tall. I've seen
in the
pictures
of Colleen next to you. So I said the way that Jay avoids that argument is he just puts it on the top shelf. Like she can't, out of sight, out of mind.
I don't know if she sees it up there.
Yeah, she doesn't know. So you've just outed yourself, and she's gonna say, Jay,
she knows
up there
because for a time. I realize I have a problem, okay? I admit it. I don't make healthy choices or just good choices like you do, Quip, and your children and your family, because you're much healthier in mind and body than I am. But remember when they re-released the Planters cheese balls?
Yeah, the big, like the barrel of cheese balls.
Yeah, like it was not barrel, not barrel.
It was a can.
The can,
like can with the yellow top. Yeah, I got you.
Yes, with the yellow top. Exactly. It was a big deal, right? At least to me as a eater of junk food.
Yeah.
So I went and bought like a few, not pallets, but a few cases of it. And I had that up there as well for a while. And then Colleen did make me throw that away. So see, she saw it was up there and she was like, Jay, you're never going to eat these. These don't have Ghostbusters on them anywhere. You can let those go.
Fair.
Anyway, but turtle pies have never been brought back. One day, maybe.
They haven't. They brought back. There's a company that Mad Hatter actually did a review of them, and I came this close to ordering it, but then I looked at it and I was like, functionally, it's shelf stable frosting that's pie flavored with crumbs in it. I couldn't bring myself to.
Somebody got it for me. Yeah. What Video Power Gaming, was it you or was it Matt Bush? I did a taste test of it on After Dark once.
Yeah,
it's not good. It is not. Or maybe it was Mike Traverso. Mike, did you send it to me? Somebody sent it to me.
I remember that After Dark though. That you had it too.
Okay, it is not. It does not taste the same. I can go back in my mind palace to eating that as a kid. It's basically just a vanilla Hostess pie.
Yeah. Dyed green.
It dyed green, and it didn't taste like that. Anyway, I digress. Let's jump into something. Well, let's quickly go into something a little sad. Because we have to.
We'll touch on
thank God that there's other things to talk about than just tariffs this week or hostile corporate takeovers. But where'd it go? I lost it. There we go. There it is. So let me close this out here. layoffs have been happening, which is a bummer. Earlier
Mhm.
this week, Super 7 laid off a whole bunch of people. There's different reports going around, but it was a ton of people. They haven't shut down or anything, but he's been on the show before. Kyle and again many others got laid off at Super 7.
Yeah.
And it's not entirely shocking because I think we've seen that they were struggling, or it's, at least from the outside looking in, they were struggling to kind of like, I don't know, find their place in the world. And then with tariffs hitting and the uncertainty of that, maybe was the final nail in the coffin there, or they kind of faced something they couldn't avoid, which was laying off a whole bunch of staff. So layoffs are never fun. I've been in the corporate world for a long time, and in tech, where layoffs happen all the freaking time, and it sucks. I've been impacted before, and so I don't wish that on anyone.
Nope.
But I reached out to Kyle, gave him my support. If anybody ever faces that, I've lived through it, and if you ever need help or anything, I'm always happy to give it. So yeah, super sad, always tough, and wish those that got impacted the quickest path to kind of get back on the horse somewhere. It is a massive blow, right?
Yeah.
Because
he was the director of the Ultimates line. Like, he was the Ultimates brand line director. So if they let him go, what does that mean for the future of Ultimates? And there have been some statements from Super 7 employees floating around, unconfirmed, that functionally say like, "Oh, hope y'all like blind boxes and recolorings." So I don't know what that means, if they're going to lean more into, and I think for all the ups and downs that the Ultimates line experienced, with respect to the highs of fantastic renders to the lows of your Andre the Giant production figures, I think a lot of people had a love-hate relationship with the Ultimates line.
Yeah,
But when it
I
was good,
do
it was good.
myself. Yeah.
When it was good, they nailed it, and they did some really cool figures in that Ultimates line. But I do believe that I think the reaction line and like the card art and that kind of 5 POA feel, I think the reaction line has kind of been where Super 7 really has had their, I guess, bread buttered for the most part. I don't know if that's true or not. I know we kind of like more articulation, but
Well, I think the Ultimates line is more expensive, right?
yeah.
And so I think that
Yep.
I think it's less about the Ultimates line is the thing that's more successful. I just think it's cheaper, so it's easier,
That's fair. Yeah. And
And
a lot of people, when those prices would drop end of year, which it was cyclical. I mean, how many times did people say, "Oh, this figure is great" in April, and then just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait till November, December when it drops down to like $20, right?
yeah,
$45, $55 hard price per figure to maintain, right? You got a lot of expectations that come along with that price tag.
yep,
So
yep.
yeah.
And so you could kind of maybe see the writing on the wall. Brian Flynn bringing in outside ownership, or at least investors from the outside,
Yep.
and that's usually what happens, right? You bring in outside money, and they're going to want to streamline things, cut out all of the extraneous costs. And if tariffs are having that much of an effect, or just the Ultimates line in general is just getting more and more expensive, and you add, even though the tariffs did drop down, if you add 20%, 30%, whatever that is, that could be like the straw that breaks the camel's back. We're not in those conversations, right?
Nope.
We're not in those boardrooms or anything, so we don't know. But it looked unhealthy even before all this stuff, and so you give a little add-on like that, it can really screw things up, right? So we'll see what the future holds for Super 7. But again, my heart goes out to all the people that were impacted. Just terrible.
Hoping they land on their feet, find new gigs soon, and
we will highlight their work here on this channel. Like, we will give them
absolutely
an audience to make sure people know what they're doing, and make sure they have eyes on those things.
And Blake from Toy Collector was actually on YHS Toy Anxiety this past week, and he's a bit of an industry insider. He knows, he gets inside scoop, especially with running Toy Collector magazine.
Yeah.
So anybody who's interested in learning a little more, getting a little more additional detail, go check out YHS's Toy Anxiety, the latest
great episode
from this past Tuesday.
Yeah. Big Super 7 logo on it there.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. Just real quick, I think we got some things circling back to the previous chats. Michael with $10 super chat, and doctors can't figure out why the rates of stomach-related cancers are rising in millennials. Crystal Pepsi, Dino Nuggets, Turtle Pies, Ecto-Cooler. Definitely wasn't me that sent that. Okay, somebody sent it though, and I'm blanking on who. It was like one of my friends in the chat. Brian Brink got those data points for us. Brian, you're a legend. Thank you. Proton Pack, $400, had 19,000, a little over 19,000. Trap, which was $300, had 24,000, and then the Ecto One had almost 17,000. So it's like from the
Numbers
backpack to the trap, but it's like that's what 2,000 difference. That's not
numbers don't lie.
That's not more than you're not saying like it's only props,
bruh. 17 or no, that's 7,000 between 1,700 and.
But I'm saying the Ecto One is more expensive than the $300. So I'm saying between the backpack, the Proton Pack, which is $400.
I see what you're saying.
The Ecto One's $400. Okay, I'm comparing. I think those are more comparable, maybe.
No, so wait. Okay. So you're telling me $25 difference. The toy being $25 more.
But most people got the deluxe one.
Nope.
Most people got the deluxe one.
Was them props are expensive. That's one of the arguments. But here, okay.
Yeah, the cheap prop they bought a lot of because it was cheaper.
Yep. Okay.
I'm just saying it's drastic.
Let it ride.
Have to be.
Numbers don't lie.
Kyle gave us 60 Rat
lie.
King. Yeah, indeed. Kyle is the man. Hit the like for the Ecto-Cooler. Where are we at with that, by the way? Let's just check back in. See how stressed I can make Quip. Only 162 likes. There's 320 people watching right now. So I guess they don't want to see us drink
cool as a cucumber. I appreciate that. I'm going to take that as our audience who loves toys. This particular audience doesn't collect props as much. But numbers don't lie. Again, thanks for the backup, Brian Brink. This particular audience also doesn't want to see us get botulism.
You're not gonna get botulism. We fine. We'll just put some alcohol in there. Okay. Diamond Select Toys shuts down as part of a ad populum purchase. Now, again, this isn't officially confirmed. It just seems like, and what is this? Bleeding Cool News put out this article that a vast majority of the staff that works at Diamond Select Toys was laid off, and those that are left are worrying that we'll see how long we last at just Diamond Select, not just Diamond Select Toys. And so it sucks. Again, always sucks people getting laid off. And the fact that if the company that owns NECA is buying Diamond Select, just from this is what happens when mergers happen. The two new companies will look like, okay, where do we have redundancies? Oh, we already got a toy division, so we don't need two toy divisions. And best case, you kind of merge the best and brightest on both sides into one team. But sometimes unfairly, like a whole team just gets axed in those scenarios. So, I'm not the biggest Diamond Select Toys fan. I did like their Tron line, even though the face sculpts weren't that sharp. But for some reason, I didn't feel like it really needed it. But
you know what I really liked from Diamond Select?
Yeah,
I really liked their X-Men the Animated Series and Spider-Man the Animated Series busts. They were 1/6 scale, and for anybody who couldn't afford the price tag of the Mondo 1/6 scale, who were like museum posers anyway, right? They're not doing the super dynamic posing of their Mondo figures or putting up a display. I liked the busts that they had for X-Men. I thought those were really cool as far as capturing the spirit of the cartoon. The sculpts were phenomenal from Diamond Select. So Another thing I was thinking too, though, was Diamond Select did a lot of Marvel figures.
Yeah,
right?
they did. And filled in
So,
gaps too.
yeah. So don't know what the terms of the merger are, but if the parent company, Ad Populum, is also the parent company of NECA, there you go. See, Justin Mohan knows where I was going with it. Will NECA be doing Marvel figures potentially?
It'd be cool. It'd be cool. Again, stinks that a whole like org has to just be gotten rid of, right? And maybe that's why Ad Populum, maybe that's why they bought Diamond Select as part of it, to say, hey, we can kind of absorb some of these licenses. But usually when these types of things happen, at least companies that have good licensing agreements like Disney will say, cool, you're technically a new company now, so you have to re-up all of the licenses. Yeah. I know that has happened to other toy companies, and that has killed some toy lines that people really dug for other toy companies. But that being said, we'll kind of see, how all of that goes down. But to your point, Macanita Silva, Diamond Select was doing Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
And again, so they clearly have the Disney license on lock. Like and NECA works with Disney too. They play with Disney. But like, can NECA now absorb the Muppets thing and then just bring back Palisades or to their Sesame Street line, bring the Muppets into play?
Yeah. That could be cool. That could be cool. That could be good news. Hopefully, as we're talking, hopefully no more staff are laid off. There's some sort of merger with the different IPs. Diamond Select had a lot of people who were working for the company who could bring great new perspective and their talents to the Ad Populum, NECA, Kid Robot, Loot Crate crowd, right? But yeah, it'd be cool to see them kind of expand Muppets because clearly NECA's already involved with. Well, I can't say clearly because I don't know the rules. There's all sorts of craziness that can happen behind the scenes with licenses, with different Muppets. Like, okay, so is it with Jim Henson's workshop? If so, did they just get Sesame Street, or was Sesame Street under a different license from the Muppets? Right?
Because it is separate. So Sesame Workshop is separate from the Muppets now.
But if they get the Muppets now from the Diamond Select Toys
they could
merger,
do both.
Could they also even explore Labyrinth? Or what's the other one? Legend?
Well,
is Legend?
No, because that's gosh, I don't know. No, because I think those are going to be separate too. Because like Fraggle Rock is done by Boss Fights. Is it Boss Fight does Fraggle Rock?
Yeah, Boss Fight.
Then Meatball, or is it something
Plastic Meatball?
Plastic Meatball. They have Emmett Otter, Jug Band. Like the Jim Henson stuff is all over the place. And yes, what Super 7 was doing Dark Crystal, weren't they?
I think Super 7 had Dark Crystal Reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a Google machine. Let me try it.
But it'd be cool. It'd be cool if it was kind of at least the Muppets were brought in-house to Trevor and company that have been running the Sesame Street line to kind of bring the Muppets into that.
Super 7 did Dark Crystal in 2016. So okay.
Over 330 people watching right now. Remember the crazy like goal tonight is to hit 300 likes. If we hit 300 likes, Quip and I will be taking a sip. Quip gonna take a sip of a very nice 2016 vintage Ecto-Cooler. Jim Henson worked a bunch of stuff, but didn't necessarily retain full control of the IPs. We'll have to see who picks up what from whoever the proper licensor is. Michael, great point. Hope the folks that were laid off get on their feet soon, and would love to see a toy tubers give them a platform to show off their stuff. Alex Burr's an almost celebrity because of his side portfolio. Completely agreed. So this is a call out, and I said the same to Kyle personally. Anybody, and we do this anyway. But if to all of our toy maker friends that got impacted, you have an open invitation to share your work here on this channel. whenever that time comes. Deep Space Niner. Next episode of GDL live stream from the ER. Okay, let's take a sip. I'm not saying we gotta drink the whole can, just a little sippity sip. Just a squip.
I see Brian Brink is on me. He's not just backing me up with the numbers, but how do you intend to ship this toxic waste to me?
Anywho, all right, let's keep going. Charlie Squared calls out, only 5 people work for Diamond Select Toys. The Alliance Game Distro was the only profitable end part of Diamond. Yeah, I've heard that. I know like Gentle Giant did most of the sculpting for them.
Okay.
So we will see. Josh Lane, just a little quip sip. Katie's Toys. Didn't the Toxer Avenger turn thanks to Ecto-Cooler? Gage, it's been a super rough week this week, so the stream was much needed and I'm looking forward to it. Gage, glad that you're here with us sharing in the joy of toys, and I hope this next week is less rough, my friend. Anyway, let's keep going here. Sensei Jeff. If it's not a full can, I won't even drink a full can. Come on.
Won't happen.
Hey, let's talk about Nightcrawler. This was kind of, I think we talked about it last week, that it was gonna be a canary in a coal mine on the tariff impact, right?
Yep.
And these things are moving so fast. Like while we were doing that stream, the Trump administration announced, "Hey, we got a deal." We didn't know what the deal was, and it didn't completely wipe away tariffs. It gave a 90-day reduction to 30%. I know that I reached out to some of my friends over on the Mondo side, and they're like, "It's better, way better than we thought it was going to be. So this is not going to hit as bad." And so the price listed for this deluxe version of Nightcrawler was $245. The tariff charge, which they separated it as a line item, was an additional $20 on this figure.
So lower than anticipated. The tariff surcharge was lower than anticipated, but you're getting to the butt.
You had to pay shipping as well.
Yeah. And that's where, so no more free shipping. So yay, Ryan Dole is somewhere. He just took a big swig of maple syrup saying,
Can I just say, Ryan Dole, you know I love you. You're one of my favorite human beings on the earth. But also, go to hell. Why'd you have to ruin it for everybody?
Well, Dole didn't ruin it for everybody.
He did.
He's just laughing at us. And it's okay to laugh at us.
You know how many times on this show, on his own show, on Toy Anxiety, that man,
he spoke it into existence.
Exactly.
So this is okay.
He put it out there
into
that
the
he
universe.
Was so upset that Americans got free shipping.
Yeah.
And it was like a butterfly effect thing that led to I won't go there. But anyway, it's his fault.
But it's still a good way to absorb, because I mean, it is, if the cost of shipping increases, right, then the cost of shipping it reflects the current conditions, right? I don't know how much shipping has actually increased between the de minimis and what they're I mean, Mondo's shipping greater than $800 anyway, so it's not going to be on the de minimis side of things. But how exactly it really does increase their internal cost of shipping, it kind of makes sense that.
Well, I think the shipping, they'll just eat the costs on the shipping if it's free shipping, right? And they just factor that into the final price of the figure. But with the tariffs, are probably like, okay, well, we can't gonna eat the cost of shipping, and we're gonna actually have to charge a little bit more for the tariffs. Like, we don't know like the final numbers on here, but I did screen. So I bought this Nightcrawler. I spent my own money.
Protect your address, Jay.
Johnny New Toys and Mad Hatter. I did buy this figure. Even though, like, they can't complain anymore because I know for a fact, or at least I know Jonathan got like 5 figures for Mondo. And he reviewed them on his channel. Go check them out if you haven't seen them yet.
But he's also doing the Mondo Mondays, where I believe he's doing the reviews, but then he's going to end up giving away the figures. I don't know what the conditions are there. Yeah, but Johnny's got integrity. I'm joking. It's fine.
Whoa,
but yeah,
you're saying I don't have integrity, Quip?
I'm not saying
I thought
that
we were
you
friends.
don't have integrity. I'm just saying that you're trying to force me to drink toxic swill. So moving on, here you have a receipt. What's going on with this receipt here? It looks like our estimate.
He's best friends with Alex. That Alex person Mondo just like, I see Ryan
Dole.
Dole.
That's true. He did have his own Gotham City Tonight.
Exactly.
Slowly, he's a little earworm planting those seeds.
Exactly.
Does the U.S. really need free shipping, Alex?
He used his bully pulpit of Gotham City Tonight.
He did.
Just saying. I don't know. Dole's probably asleep by now. Actually, no. It's only 7 o'clock over there. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what my charge ended up being. $20 for surcharge. So that was on top of the $245. So that brings it to $265, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then shipping was $31 with an additional tax of $21.54. So my grand total for this figure was a not too small $318.
It's about what we guessed last week. Last week we said $315, $316. So it's a little bit higher, but we were close to it. Yeah.
So Nightcrawler was a must buy, right? Had to have it.
Clearly, because he's now unavailable.
He sold out
off the market. He got
so I know this is probably a little bit different for everybody, but in Raleigh, North Carolina, with the whatever tax that I had to pay for here and the shipping I had to pay for here, it equaled about a little under $320, right? So that original price of $245, if we put the 202 of the real Ghostbusters 2 packs, just subtract $40 from 318, that's probably around about where we're looking to spend on those, right?
Yeah,
or
about
at least the next 2 sets.
Yeah.
So I was at 318 minus 40, so 278.
You sound like what do you mean?
I remember you. So it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. Love hurts. Love smarts.
I feel like I need to put in like REM's "Everybody Hurts" into the soundboard just so I can have that now for all the times toy prices have gone up.
There's Dole. Dole has reared his
"Everybody Hurts"
sometimes. Misery loves company.
Stop crying. You Americans had it too easy for too long. Michael, why is Jay paying for Mondo figures all of a sudden? What's up with that, Mondo? So if they send a figure, it usually is not going to be a deluxe figure because those are limited quantities. So if I want a deluxe figure, I can't even do like, hey, can I get a review sample? Those are limited enough that I don't get to play in those waters. They are sending me a Scare Glow and Scare Mare to review though. So that whenever that arrives, I will rip that bad boy open and do a review. But the Nightcrawler, no freebies there.
Yeah.
Well, that
and I mean the other figures, it's not like you just dropped a line to Peter or Alex and just said, "Hey, by the way, I want one of those. Set it aside for me." Right? They've always
I'm not that guy.
You. Yeah. They've said, "Hey, is there anything you want? If there's any toys left over after a show?"
Yeah.
Right. So you'd have to assume that once the Nightcrawlers get shipped, they go through if there are any QC issues, right? I'm sure they have some extra figures kind of on hand just in case. They might come back out and do one of their smaller drops or go to a show, bring some of the extra QC figures there. And even later on down the line.
I wouldn't ask for one of those. I just so how I don't if a company's like, hey, do you want to review this? I'll either say yes or no.
Yeah.
Or do you just want this? You don't even have to review it. But like, cool, yeah, send it. But there's a lot of requests that get sent that I just ignore and I don't respond to.
Fair.
But if it's like a cool toy and they're like, hey, do you want this? I'm like, hell yeah. But in general, I don't ask for stuff for free. But they do send it. They do send it.
If they offer, and that's the right way to go about doing it, right? You know, you don't want to get on Friday after Friday and say you're making it your point to be a Mondo shill and beg for free figures. I mean, you've got more pride than that. You've got more dignity.
Hey, it worked for Jonathan. It did work for him. He got it eventually. He did get it.
It did. Hey, squeaky wheel gets the grease. So that's but yeah.
Oh, by the way,
why would you say no?
By the way, Jonathan and I hung out this weekend. So he's working on it. He's editing it now. There will be a new toy hunt video of Jonathan and I at IshCon.
Is there going to be a dramatic flair? Because I do appreciate that. It's like toy hunts aren't just toy hunts with Jonathan. I don't know if you can't spill the beans.
No, well, okay. I won't spill any beans.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it'll be as severe as, or extreme. You know what's so funny about that toy hunt? One, it's really popular. It's already gotten over like 100,000 views on that toy hunt. But what's wild is most people don't make it to the end of that toy hunt.
Really?
And don't even realize there's a twist.
Okay.
Like we were talking about it yesterday because we're doing a toy hunt video of
looking at the
going to
analytics.
IshCon.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he was joking like, yeah, it gets more and more views. It's gotten actually a ton of views, but he thinks maybe only 30% of people that have watched that video, and it's over 100,000 views, I believe, have made it to the end to see the twist of that.
I appreciate the video because even I remember when it first like debuted, shortly after you realized, hey, you live in North Carolina. Oh, you're this far away from me. Yeah, we should meet up. And I remember watching it and just the journey that Johnny Nostalgia and you brought me on, but I know it was Johnny's idea, kind of the dramatic flair behind everything. And going like from the guy showing up in different shots, like I was very quick to like recognize the pattern, but I legitimately started with, I feel like he's following you because he sees two adults and he wants to be your friend, right? Because everybody's kind of seen that dude where I think you've mentioned it, where like you go toy shopping and there's somebody like there's another adult collector who talks to you and you're kind of like, I just want to like get my toy. I don't really feel like having a conversation, but it's so rare that you find, unless you have close friends like you or an entire platform where you talk to people who regularly collect toys all the time, people are just like, hey, this is cool. You're another adult into action figures. Let's chat a little bit. So I humor people for the most part. So seeing him, I was thinking, oh, wow. I think he just wants to kind of like, he's like, what's going on? Are you filming? Like, he's just curious what's happening. And he'd just be nice to him. And then, of course, I was like, oh, like as far as there's the big twist. So anybody who hasn't seen that already,
I'm trying to pull it up real quick.
You never know when it's new for people. There could be people, this could be their first Geek Dad Live episode on the Geek Dad Live channel. But Nostalgia Unboxed is a channel affiliate, a friend of the channel.
And a friend in real life. I do consider him a dear friend. But this is the episode. If you look for it, this is why I don't film toy hunts.
It's a good video.
So at first the thumbnail didn't have this in here, and he was like, nobody was making it to the end, or very few were. So he added this. But even with that, he says most people don't make it to the end of the toy hunt video. So, go check it out if you haven't yet. But Johnny Nostalgia and I will be doing, or he's editing it right now. Toy hunting at IshCon, but I will be sharing what I picked up at IshCon in After Dark tonight. So IshCon is a relatively small toy focused convention in Durham, North Carolina, which is right next to Raleigh. And there were, Four Horsemen were there, and many others. 3D Joes were there, Spiro Toys was there, Savage Crucible was there. And a bunch of toy dealers. So I picked up a good assortment of things. So if you want to see those, what I actually bought before the actual official toy hunt video comes out on Nostalgia or Johnny Nostalgia's channel, you'll be able to see what I actually got. People are saying we're getting a lot of likes, Quip. Just an FYI. 213 likes.
I will do the Elmo voice and make the likes go down. We need to have an Elmo battle again. That'll do it. That'll make the like, whoa, what is this? I'm like, no,
okay.
cool. Yeah.
Other than Mondo news. So that's there, right?
Yeah.
Another test right
There
on the heels
we'll
of
see.
that. Mum-Ra is coming back.
This was, I mean, He-Man was all the buzz. I mean, that's what a lot of people were talking about, that 2000X
Sure.
line that Mondo's going to do. That's 1/12. But this, if it doesn't beat it out for you personally, it's probably a close second to the Awesome Con reveals and shows, like the Mum-Ra that was in place. I think they said it was close to production. I don't know if it was the final.
Mm-hmm.
But see, yep, Frankie Rivera, that Mum-Ra is all me. This Mum-Ra,
it does look incredible.
What Mondo does, this is one of those, just one of the lines that I have to constantly think about. Okay, what is the escape strategy, right? If I start this, right? Because that Beastman was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that Beastman with the chain reminded me of of a cover of like an old Source Awards magazine with like Busta Rhymes. That Beastman was phenomenal. So if you do, okay, Beastman, Mum-Ra, Evelyn.
Just go baddies. Oops, all baddies.
Yeah, but then I'm not a huge fan of Trapjaw. That's just me.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's his character design, because it's like, where does he get a football helmet like in the Motu universe? It's just like his helmet is weird to me. And I'm not just saying that for like, I'm not saying that about Mondo's Trapjaw. I'm saying that about the character, period.
Yeah.
So could you just do Beastman, Evelyn, and what am I talking about? Wow, I'm thinking Motu, and this is Thundercats. Wow, it's getting late. Okay, this is really what I was thinking. So what I was thinking was Mum-Ra, Skeletor, and then if they do a Shredder for the Ninja Turtles line, that's what it was. It was.
Oh, okay.
Would
That's
you
saying,
get the
oops, all
triumvirate
baddies. I
of
love that idea.
80s? Yeah, of 80s supervillains. I don't know why my head went Motu, but okay, yeah. No, Mum-Ra, Skeletor, and then what would a Shredder look like for their proposed 1/6 Ninja Turtles
It'd
line?
be
If they're
cool
even
as
still
hell.
going to explore that, right?
I think they are.
So,
I think the response to that was really positive.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see those. Maybe they'll show them at Comic-Con or something, but that line I'm super excited about.
Yes, I really want to hear and see more about that, because I'm currently in the purge part of my collecting, where getting rid of, not that I had toys galore piling up behind me anyways, but I am getting rid of a lot of things right now, and so I'm thinking, but what is coming up that I would want to save that money for? Right?
Yeah.
What might my display look like in the future?
That's true.
We start to expand that Mondo TMNT line. So we'll see. 1/6 cat layer.
What to wait and see. 1/6 cat layer.
Ain't gonna happen, Kevin.
Yeah, not in this post-tariff world. Okay.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what it is. It's going to be expensive. I'm guessing at least before tariff, shipping, and all that, in the 300s.
Yeah.
And you'll probably, after shipping, tariffs, and everything, probably over $400. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
So if you want it, you got to really want it.
Did you say 400?
I'm gonna guess it's over $400 once you put tariffs and shipping and everything. It's much bigger.
How much their Thundercat? Oh, okay, all right. And it's
Mum-Ra's
got a lot
bigger.
of different heads. A lot of it's like I don't know if there's a tier above deluxe, but if they have Mondo Ultimates, but that's true. He's gonna be kind of like that Ray Fillet. You know how Ray Fillet was a little more expensive than the other vinyls. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay. So with tariffs and everything, getting them closer to 4, especially if you just spent 3 for Nightcrawler. Have you taken a bath with him yet to see if it changes colors?
I don't do baths anymore. Quip. Actually, because we have it's a shower. It's like a really big standing shower, so I don't even have a bathtub.
You got to bring him in the shower with you, or see if it changes color in the warm water.
Nah, I don't want to ruin him. This is like one of my favorite toys of like the past 5 years.
It's a rad one. Hatter just picked one of those up. I just watched his video. For picking it up.
It's so
recently.
good.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorites. Okay, just real quick, a little bit of housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
This week, closing out Power of the Force 2 on the Toy Geeks podcast. We'll be joined by Jake Stevens from Forlom to Zuckus, or as Dan Larson kept referring to him, from For LOM to Zuckus. It was a ton of fun. Great episode. Kind of wraps up the entire toy line and wraps up that mini series. So that'll drop on Tuesday thereabouts. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you subscribe to the Toy Geeks podcast YouTube channel, or if you prefer audio only, it's on Spotify, iTunes, or I guess Apple Music, wherever you get podcasts for free. And then I don't know. I don't know if I'll do a. Well, I need to get this video done, and I have to get it done in the next couple days. So stay tuned to the GDL Prime, my review of this Power of the Force Force Strike X-Wing set will be dropping on the channel this week. And again, if for patrons, join us in After Dark, where I will be sharing my toy hauls from IshCon. The hauls by which will be, you could see it happening in real time in an upcoming toy hunt video that Nostalgia Unboxed Jonathan and I did at the Durham Toy Convention. Let's see where we're at on likes, Quip. Let's see. Oh, only 221. Quip, I think you're safe.
Whew. I appreciate that.
I think you're safe.
My intestinal lining. Thanks you all.
I kind of was hoping we'd do it though. I was kind of hoping. But you're safe. You're safe. Not intending to. I got a lot of travel coming up. I got Comic-Con coming up. I got a surprise trip that I got to do this week coming up. I can't share anything about that yet, but eventually be able to see what that is. It's pretty cool. We'll be in New York in a couple weeks, and some cool stuff related to that trip. So I don't know. I don't know if I can pull. Oh, and then I may be going to Heroes Con in Charlotte. So I don't know if I can pull off Joe Fest as well, but you still do it, Jay, just without Quip. Well, the goal was 300 likes. That was the goal. So I don't know. Just you all just didn't want it enough. But anyways, come hang out and After Dark. Jake Stevens is good. I agree. He was the first and only guest, I think, but definitely within the Star Wars one, that had every single figure in hand that we talked about. Didn't even need a reference site. He just brought up each figure and we looked at it.
Flexing.
It was the man has got a great collection. He's kind of like Ryan Dole, where he had really good and supportive parents and like very little toy trauma.
That's good. What's that like?
Right? And
I'll
so
trade
like,
all the toys for supportive parents.
Absolutely. But then, it's just like sometimes I wonder, like, do I have this affliction of toy collecting because of the toy trauma or just whatever? And then I maybe like Dole or Jake Stevens are like, no, they had really healthy, supportive parents, especially with toy collecting. Like they enabled the toy collecting and they still collect toys to this day. So maybe it's just in our genetics, we love collecting toys. And there's no, Batman backstory where our parents were killed tragically and that's why we became Batman. We just are toy collectors because we like collecting toys. But also we're filling a hole that was in our childhood to this day. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Quip, thank you, my friend. And I guess you were saved by the bell in terms of having to do the Ecto-Cooler challenge. Again, Charlie Weaver, are we going to do this? Just you and me?
Maybe all about it. Get a can to Charlie Weaver.
Listen, Charlie, I'm going to text you. I'm going to send it to you, okay? Maybe we'll do it like After Dark or something. But anywho, we'll see you in Toy Geek, see you in reviews on the GDL Prime, and we'll see you here Sunday night, next Sunday. Until then, hasta luego, and goodbye.